Have you ever stopped to consider the power of words? What you say, and even what you think, shapes your reality in ways most people never imagine. But what if I told you that there are just 2 words capable of opening doors, aligning your life with God's will, and transforming your reality in just a few days? It might sound like an exaggeration, but the truth is that the Bible, spirituality, and even science show that certain words carry a vibrational power that can change the way we connect with the divine and the universe around us. Today, you're going to discover what those words are and how to use them properly. But first, leave this phrase in the comments: I accept the divine transformation in my life. By writing this, you are already beginning to tune your energy to this new reality. Jacobo Grinberg, one of the greatest scholars of consciousness, devoted his life to understanding how the mind shapes reality. He believed that the external world is not fixed and immutable, but rather a direct reflection of our perception. In other words, the way we think and speak influences not only our minds, but also the events around us. According to Grinberg, there is an invisible neural field connecting all things that responds to our intentions and words. This field acts like a mirror, reflecting exactly what we emit. If our words carry fear, doubt, and scarcity, our reality aligns with that vibration. But when we use the right words, filled with faith and connection, we can access higher levels of manifestation and change. The Bible already said, "Life and death are in the power of the tongue," Proverbs 18:21. And Jacobo Grinberg brought a scientific perspective to this concept. He discovered that specific words have a frequency capable of reconfiguring our minds and altering the structure of our reality. And that's exactly what you will learn today. The 2 words that unlock this hidden power and align your life with divine energy. From ancient times, words have been seen as keys to accessing higher dimensions and transforming reality. The Bible teaches us that God created the world through His Word, and Grinberg scientifically proved that our perception builds what we call reality. But what few know is that some words have a unique vibrational frequency capable of aligning our minds with the divine and unlocking unexpected changes. Grinberg maintained that the human mind is not just a simple information processor, but a mechanism that can interact directly with the fabric of reality. His research indicates that words carry frequencies that can modify the neural field, an invisible network connecting all existence. This means that the way we speak not only affects our emotions, but also how events unfold around us. What's even more impressive is that this idea isn't found only in spirituality, but also in neuroscience. Studies show that repeating certain words can reprogram the brain, activating areas linked to emotion, motivation, and faith. This explains why mantras, prayers, and positive affirmations have such profound effects. When we speak words with intention, we create new mental patterns that can lift us from stagnation and lead us to growth and transformation. There is one fundamental detail: not all words carry the same power. Some expressions carry neutral vibrations, while others have the strength to open doors and connect you directly with the creative energy. Jacobo Grinberg identified that short, simple words packed with meaning have a far greater impact than long and complicated phrases. That is why 2 specific words can be the key to transforming your life. They condense the vibration of faith, surrender, and direct connection with God. When spoken with the right intention, these words break through emotional and spiritual blockages, opening up space for new opportunities and miracles to manifest. Many people go through life without truly realizing the impact of what they say. They fill themselves with negative words, not noticing that they are programming their own minds for failure. But when we become aware of the hidden power of words and learn to use them to our advantage, everything begins to change. Now that you understand the connection between words and reality, it's time to dive into the spiritual law of permission, one of the most forgotten principles of faith that reveals exactly what God expects to hear from you before He acts. Once you grasp the importance of spiritual permission, the moment comes to reveal the two words that can change your life. These words are not magical on their own, but they carry a unique vibrational frequency capable of aligning your mind and spirit with divine manifestation. The words are, I accept. It may seem too simple, but the truth is that acceptance is one of the most powerful acts anyone can practice. When you say, I accept, with complete surrender, you eliminate all resistance, fear, and doubt that prevent God from acting fully in your life. True acceptance means no longer fighting against the divine flow and starting to allow blessings to reach you. Many people pray and ask for changes, yet deep down, they still hold limiting beliefs and insecurities that block their own responses. By saying, I accept, you affirm to God and the universe that you are ready to receive. This can be applied in all areas of life, in prosperity. Instead of saying, I want more money in desperation, say, I accept the abundance that is already available to me. In health, instead of focusing on illness, say, I accept the healing and restoration that God has prepared for me. In relationships, instead of lamenting loneliness, say, I accept the love and true connection that is on its way. The great transformation happens because by accepting, you change your internal vibration. And since everything in the universe responds to the energy we emit, this change creates a domino effect in your reality. Jesus often told the people He healed, your faith has saved you. True healing happens only when someone accepts that possibility. Doubt closes doors, acceptance opens them. Now that you know the words, the next step is to understand the right time to use them and how to multiply their effect, ensuring that your connection with God grows ever stronger. Knowing which words to use is essential, but the moment you utter them can make all the difference. Jacobo Grinberg discovered that our minds do not operate the same way throughout the day. There are specific moments when our consciousness is more receptive to new information, allowing words and intentions to have a deeper impact. One such moment is before sleep. During the transition from wakefulness to sleep, the brain enters a state known as hypnagogia, where brain waves slow down and the subconscious becomes highly receptive. This is the ideal moment to repeat, I accept, and visualize your life already transformed. What you think at that moment is processed by your subconscious throughout the night, helping to reconfigure your perception and open space for real changes. Another powerful moment is right when you wake up. In the first minutes of the day, the mind is still in a state of receptivity, and what you say or think early on can set the tone for your entire day. As soon as you open your eyes, even before picking up your phone or worrying about your tasks, repeat, I accept all the good that is reserved for me today. This simple practice can create a positive domino effect in your reality. Beyond these strategic times, there are ways to multiply the power of these words and enhance their effects. Speak them aloud. The sound of your own voice reinforces the belief in what is being said. If possible, say, I accept with conviction and feeling. Combine them with your breathing. Take a deep breath before speaking, and as you exhale, imagine any resistance or doubt leaving your body. Write them down. The act of writing solidifies your intention. Try writing, I accept abundance, healing, and peace in my life, and read it aloud. Use them in the face of challenges. When you face an obstacle, instead of reacting with fear or anger, say mentally, I accept that this is happening for a greater reason, and trust that the best is yet to come. This instantly changes your vibration and opens the way for unexpected solutions. Acceptance does not mean resignation or passivity. On the contrary, it is an act of faith and trust in the divine flow. When you stop resisting and start allowing, everything flows more easily. Now that you know when and how to use these words, all that remains is to understand what happens when this practice becomes part of your life. Once it becomes routine, the first major change is the acceleration of results. Situations that once seemed difficult or unattainable start occurring more naturally. This doesn't mean everything will be resolved overnight, but you will begin to notice that doors open effortlessly, as if the universe itself were aligning the path for you. Another fundamental transformation is a change in perception. You stop seeing obstacles as insurmountable barriers and begin to view them as opportunities for learning and growth. Instead of reacting with fear or frustration, you develop a deep sense of trust, knowing that everything is unfolding in the best possible way. Over time, the practice of acceptance also strengthens your spiritual connection. Your faith becomes more solid because you stop living in the anxiety of when and start living with the certainty that it is already happening. You not only believe that God can transform your life, but you feel that transformation happening in real time. The real secret to accelerated manifestation lies in your ability to let go of the need to control. When you try to force things to happen your way and on your schedule, you create resistance and block the natural flow of abundance. But when you practice genuine acceptance, you align yourself with the perfect rhythm of the universe and allow blessings to arrive at exactly the right moment. Repeating these two simple words, "I accept," is not just a mental exercise, but a key to reprogramming your mind and tuning it to the divine. The more you practice, the more deeply and definitively you see your life change. Now that you know this secret, there's only one question left. Are you ready to accept the transformation that is already on its way? Now that you understand the hidden power of words and the right way to use them, the decision is in your hands. You can continue living as you always have, repeating the same patterns and resisting change. Or you can take a step forward and allow God to transform your reality once and for all. True change begins the moment you choose to accept. Accept that the best is already reserved for you. Accept that God has already prepared the path. Accept that everything can change from now on. And to seal this commitment to transformation, write in the comments, "I accept the abundant life that God has for me." By doing so, you not only reinforce this truth in your mind, but also create a real energetic movement in your life. If this message resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to continue receiving content that expands your mind and strengthens your connection with the divine, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your new life has already begun. Now all that's left is to accept it.